Hi, I'm Tamara Lackey, and on this episode of reDefine Show for Adorama TV, I speak with the very creative conceptual portrait photographer Amanda Diaz about how she's created some amazing high-end frames with rather limited resources. And she offers some terrific advice for anybody looking to get into fashion or editorial photography. Check it out.
Adorama TV presents The reDefine Show with Tamara Lackey.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. So you are joining me from Edmonton, Canada.
Yes.
Yes, where the weather is...
It's actually, it's winter now, but it's okay. We've had a pretty mild winter, so I'm happy about that. I don't like winter as it is, so...
Yes, because you normally have very long freezing winters, correct?
Yeah, we actually do like 6, 7, 8 months long sometimes. Alberta weather is unpredictable and really strange, but we've been lucky so far, so I'm happy about that.
So when you have long 6, 7 month winters, what does that do to your business? So you're obviously an editorial and fashion photographer. No? How would you describe it?
Well, because you know what, the thing is, people, have always labeled me as that, have always said, and it's just been my label, not that I gave myself that, but I do fashion and I do beauty and editorial, but I think the thing I do the most is more like portraiture and conceptual. Conceptual portraiture, if you want to put it all together. That is my...
a conceptual portrait photographer.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Like I do fashion, but over the last couple of years, I think I grew to, I don't know, kind of get tired of that a little bit. And I feel like my passion is the portraiture stuff more than anything. So I do editorials and fashion, mainly for magazines and publication. Right. But my personal work that I love doing is the portraiture stuff. So.
Okay, yeah, and the conceptual part is significant. Are you starting with, just from a creative process perspective, are you starting with these ideas in your mind and then you just figure out how to do them?
So I do things, I don't know if I do things in a strange way, if other photographers, artists do it this way. But a lot of times, like if I see an image or a painting or some type of a sculpture, some art piece, anything, if something, even a music video, I talk a lot about inspiration, being inspired other than other photographers. And a lot of times I'll like notice a light in the back alley, whatever the case it's coming from. I stem off that one thing. So it's like, I don't know, so I'll start with one piece. So let's say we'll start with like, this background setting that I saw. And then I'm like, what would look so good with that background? Maybe something contrasted, like something totally against the way it looks. And then I'll start thinking of concepts and I sort of start to build on that until I can create a mood board. Usually I'll have a folder or something and I'll just be dragging images in the folder until I can like piece it together. It doesn't mean I'll use all of it, but for that inspiration and for the execution of the whole thing, it's like a jumble until it starts to happen.
I see that. So you'll start with like this, then add this, and then just keep them coming in until you have a frame. But you go in with something in mind. You don't just kind of pick up a camera and walk out with a human and say, blah.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes you do say blah?
Sometimes I get the urge to shoot. I know I'm really all over the place. I am a strange soul. I don't know, but sometimes I will just want to shoot. I'll be like, oh my God, it's raining outside. And I'll be like, does anyone want to, any girls available to come shoot real quick? And like, I usually get a response real fast, like people in the area. And I'll be like, they'll be like, I'm available. And I'll be like, you have to hurry before it stops raining.
Yeah.
And I'll run downstairs to my like Mr. Dress Up collection of items, material or whatever, and I'll rip out stuff as fast as it doesn't even make sense. And we'll just be like playing around. I play dress up with my models, and sometimes that ends up being something least expected as well. Not every time. Not all of my shoots turn out like amazing. A lot of times I hate it. So it just depends.
We started out talking about weather, which is normally a boring subject, but when you've got 6 to 7 months of winter and pretty cold winter at a time, do you find yourself, you're doing shoots in the snow, you're doing a lot more indoor?
More indoors, because I really don't like winter. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's winter lovers out there, but man,
I don't think you're offending any winter person. I don't think there's like a winter princess on here.
No, but I do like to create a winter, I have a workshop coming up, and one of the themes, because we're doing a feminine portraiture workshop, one of the themes is a winter, we don't have a name for it yet, but some kind of winter enchanted background, and it's going to be in the spring. And I can recreate that, and I love all white and stuff like that, but I don't like to shoot out in the cold.
Yeah.
So I avoid it as much as I can. I do more inside natural lighting with windows or studio stuff during the wintertime.
One of the things that I've heard about your work is that you create these concepts we're talking about. You're able to create what looks like very elaborate high-end product in terms of these
Right.
images with limited resources, like
Right.
working through them, or at least that's how you kind of started in this. Was that just a matter of massive creativity, something that was innate to you?
When I first started, as all photographers, unless there's a lucky few, I felt like my work wasn't that great at all. I would shoot stuff, maybe at the time I thought it looked good, but when you look back at your old work, right, it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
ew,
cringe.
I shot that,
Stop.
yuck. But, so as I evolved, I would say, I would think about like, okay, why did that lighting is awful, or I shouldn't have, used that prop or whatever. And as time went by, I just became more aware, like, of everything I was doing. The thing on top of that as well is that I didn't have any budget. I bought, my first camera was $1,000. It was a Canon Rebel XT. And I almost had a meltdown over that because I just did not have the money. I was working 2 jobs, trying to pay down debt, all this other
Yeah.
stuff. It wasn't fun. And so it was really hard for me, and I was basically forced into being more creative than maybe the normal person who had a little extra money to buy better lights and some nice whatever, like props
Absolutely,
or whatever
yeah.
the case. Like, so I've always had that in
Yeah.
me.
So, do you have an example of a situation exactly like you described, where you had a vision for what you wanted, you had limitations, you had budgets, and you figured it out?
This shoot, it was planned not really to a degree. I love the color red, first of all. If anybody kinds of been following my work, they would notice I use red a lot through my stuff. And I don't know, I just thought it was so eye-catching. I was like, I want to do something red. I want to do a composite. And I knew a model who was able to move as I needed. And then we just went into this old parking garage. Actually, it wasn't old. It was a new parking garage. It's really cool lines and stuff on the ceiling. And I had an assistant helping me. And I used this one red cloth because I didn't have anything else. And so we kept attaching the cloth different ways, and I had to keep shooting her. So I'd wrap it around her chest, and I'd shoot her, and then wrap it around her legs, and I'd shoot her. And we put her on top of, to make her look really long, on top of a little cheap, like, $5 step stool you can buy just for like kids to like stand up on.
Yeah.
And we just kind of kept attaching the cloth different ways, throwing it up in the air. I added like fake birds. People thought they were real, which
I
was
thought
like,
they were real.
yeah, I was happy about that. I was worried everyone would be like, nice fake birds. But once I got to editing it, I'm like, I wonder what bird, and I'm like looking at birds, and I'm like, oh, doves. Like, doves would be really cool. And then I just started Googling like flying doves. PNG files where it's already been trimmed.
So they weren't literally fake birds. They were
real birds. Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
They just weren't in the shot.
Yeah, they weren't live in your shoot.
Yeah. So it ended up being one of my most favorite, like, I'm so proud of that image. But anyways, it was just, that's how that ended up being. That cloth cost me I think like $5.99 at the fabric stores in the clearance bin, and the background was no cost. So basically, that thing cost me like maybe $12 to create.
Yeah, that's
so
amazing. Where was the backdrop? Where'd you shoot it?
That was in a parking garage, just I don't know, like a 5-minute drive from my house, and it was like my secret spot. Like, I would tell all my models and anybody there with me, don't you dare tell anyone where this place is, because it is so cool. Like, that one shot where you can kind of see all the lines up above.
Yeah.
The way it's the architecture of it is really cool. But I think I shot so much there, I haven't been back there in over a year, because I'm like, there's only so many times you can use the same place. We shot an editorial there for a magazine. We did a Fashion Against Cancer campaign here, and we shot it there as well. So I've used that place so many times, and it never cost me anything. So,
and how do you suggest somebody gets into shooting for editorial magazines, getting those kind of clients?
You have to be able to be consistent with the images you take, whether they're all natural lighting or they're mixed with like natural and studio lighting. And that's the secret, I think, is like this certain energy, this certain mood that you're putting in your work, and people could just tell, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is to try to get in with a modeling agency, offer to do test shoots with them or portfolio building a relationship and having that experience with like agency models.
Right.
Those are the girls that you need to get into publications, good publications, right,
Yeah.
in the future. I guess the last thing would be to just keep developing your style, and like with the consistency thing, it kind of goes back to that. Just make sure that you keep improving your work and stuff like that. What's happening now is magazines are charging you to get published and stuff, and so there's a very fine line with that kind of thing. So just being wary of all that stuff, be careful of where you're sending your work, and I don't know, just focus on yourself, I guess.
So the on your site you have links to your workshops as well, and your website is it just Amanda Diaz?
Yes.
Okay.
AmandaDiaz.com.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, and on your website there's also quite a number of presets and actions because you do you definitely finish your work. It looks very polished and finished.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So people can go there and check out all your actions and presets as well. Quite a variety of them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I have a online store, and my with the actions, they're all like with the products I've created, they're all customized. Like you customize them to yourself, so you can deselect layers.
That's
and
perfect.
You have to play with the masks, like to get the looks that you want. You know, and but at the same time, I've created them where you should be able to just run an action, and then it's good, and then you can run a next action.
Where else can people find you? On your website and on Facebook? What's the Facebook, your fan page?
So my fan page is Amanda Diaz Photography on Facebook. My Instagram is at Amanda Diaz Photography. And I'm on Periscope now. So it's AmandaDiaz.com. So you just spell DOTCOM.
Perfect.
And those are the three main places I'll probably be most of the time. Twitter is Amanda Diaz Photo, but I can't grasp Twitter. I'm so bad at it. So that's the places I'm at usually. But
all right, so we'll find you on those. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and sharing your beautiful work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks for that terrific interview, Amanda. Check us out here next time on Adorama TV, and do not forget to subscribe to Adorama TV for some amazing content across the board.
Do you want great-looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy-to-use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.